3,
I put
2,
Roosevelt on screen.
1.
Nice.
Millie, what happened last time?
Last time we went through the mansion. We fought a freezer, I think. Then we fought we fought a different guy after the freezer. I think he was a ball or something. Don't ask me why I remember it that way. We got more lore on the gang that was in this mansion. Jasmine, what else happened?
We fought some things. I went through, and I mean, yeah, I mean that's just kind of what it was.
There's still like 10 seconds left on the song.
That's just what it is, man.
And now we're gonna fight the final boss of the area.
Maybe.
Probably. I mean, it seems like it. We're at the top floor.
There's a 50-50 chance to BH.
Fuck you mean 50-50?
Depends on how long we yap. Just need to, though I do need to download some images just in case we do make it a certain amount. Okay. And once again, the OST that I wanted to play is not on SoundCloud, so I would like to humbly request that you guys play this on loop until I say otherwise.
Why didn't you just upload it, bro?
Because I didn't have it. I didn't have it downloaded.
I hate playing it on loop because every time I do, fucking YouTube thinks that I'm obsessed with the song and puts it on every fucking mix.
We
Yeah,
have
man.
plenty
Okay.
gyms all over the country, so we use Google Meet to.
Hey, it's Crony.
Google Meet.
It's Crony.
Nice Crony here.
You tell me, boss.
I don't know why my computer just made Crony noises. I don't even have a Crony tab open. Okay. So, when we last left off, no, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, five of you, because nobody's also here. Don't ask how you got a horse up the stairs. That's a different story. You guys finally made it to the 3rd floor.
Can horses climb stairs?
He can now.
I don't see why not.
No, nobody is a very smart boy, so if any horse can, he can. Alright. But you find yourselves in the little unmarked, unnumbered section of the floor. As you're just at the top of a stairwell. As you have a pathway going to the left and one going to the right. As you all hear the single sound of the same song you heard in the 1st floor, but only the guitar section playing on loop.
Where is it playing from?
Look around to see where it's playing from.
From what you guys can gather, it's kind of... Actually, Millie roll me perception.
Why me?
Because you're the wolf.
Okay.
If anyone can triangulate to the sound, it's you.
I got 6.
Jesus. Okay, you know exactly where it's going. you're just just like you're like, oh, where is it? As you have like a fucking like a daredevil like a sound wave. No, it's like it's like Top's fucking seismic sense in Avatar. You could just you suddenly just hear the exact like frequency and echoes as you just triangulate. It is coming from where 4 is.
Over there.
Well, may as well investigate. Gonna head over towards 4. Where are we right now?
In basically like the unmarked space.
Yeah, gonna head into 3 then.
Alright, 1 second. Let me just do something real quick.
I'm something.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Jonathan, you are bringing my daughter.
Ha ha ha, Jonathan!
You are
bringing my
gone.
daughter.
Alright. As well, luckily for you, Lemon. 1 second, if I can find it. There it is, there it is. You guys do not have to, you guys no longer have to loop the song.
Thank god.
Yeah. As you guys walk the halls of the manor, you notice that this particular wing feels a bit more dusty. Like it feels like it has been upkept to some degree, but not like the pristine condition that almost everything else in the manor has been. Millie, you can definitely feel like this is the dustiest part of the manor, even if by like other people's standards, it's not really. It feels unkempt. As you guys go and reach a set of double doors of like dark oak double doors.
Caroline will try them, see if they're locked.
They are unlocked.
Any surprises beyond here, Jasmine?
Where are we going into?
You're going into 3.
Let's go. Waves her hand slightly. I mean, like, it's weird, but you know, you can go ahead and give it a shot.
Right. Gonna open the door.
As you open the door, you are met with a very large set of bookshelves. As you all realize that you are walking into a very large and expansive library. As it feels as if structurally it doesn't really mesh, or rather, the roof feels higher than it should be, despite the fact that you know for certain that you are on the 3rd and final floor. It seems to just be rows upon rows of books upon books upon books.
Caroline will browse some of the titles, see if any of them stand out to her.
There seems to be like a lot of different study books. There seems to be like two halves, like one half dedicated to fiction and the other half dedicated to nonfiction, and then they're sorted in that way. As you walk further and further in, you notice. Let's see, let me find something. You immediately come across a few books as you see. A Hitchhiker's Guide to Hedge Beast, Volume 1. And as you look further and further in, you start to notice that the current shelf that you're on, because it's like rows and rows, seems to be dedicated to knowledge on changelings.
There's honestly some good stuff here. She had quite the collection. Caroline wants to see if these are like seemingly gotten from somewhere or if they're like handwritten. Like if they were made here or by the same person.
There seems to be a mix. From the way you've seen it sorted, it seems like the top ones are self-published, while everything else in the library, everything else in the non-fiction half is gathered, and it seems only like the top half is like reserved for like personal notes and investigations. It's kind of like the Dewey Decimal System, but like the zero section is more like personalized. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. She really does have quite the collection. Caroline tries to see if she can put any of them into her bag.
No.
Should have known. Oh, worth a shot.
If you do, like, you try to put like nonfiction books like in your bag, just it's like putting two opposite sides of a magnet together. You can't do it. But then like you throw some just like random random schlocky like young adult novel in from the fiction section, and yep, goes right in.
Not even bothering to try and claim it as yours, huh? I don't blame you. Caroline tosses it back onto the pile. Not really my kind of thing either.
All books by Enigma.
It's been hours here just combing through all this, but, well, we don't really have that time.
No, probably not.
All right, onward then.
Now, let me take something real quick. Hold on, trying to Control F. It's not working. Come on. Okay. Hey, so how do you guys traverse the library?
Recklessly and without care, as Caroline does with most things.
Walking.
Front.
Horse riding.
Recklessly and with no respect for other people's belongings.
And they make me go in front.
And can everyone just quickly roll me a quick perception, if you're paying attention?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, man.
4 successes.
You suck.
Can I roll nobody as well, just for shits and giggles?
Sure, buddy.
I'll let it go through. I'll let life go through. Actually, be right back. I need to talk to my mom some.
Nobody got 2 sucks lower than me.
Millie?
Nobody's got it.
No, I think it'd be good if you rolled as well.
1.
Let me just quickly. And what was the highest roll, by the way?
That was Arthur with 4 successes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
4 sucks.
Damn. Okay. Okay. Well, that works. That certainly works.
Stay calm, Martin. Stay calm, got it. No reaction.
So the highest is 4, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
me.
Alright. Which way do I want to... Which one? Let me check something. Let's start with you. We'll start with you. So as you guys are just like walking across the library, you all begin to notice that like it feels long. It just feels like you're walking further and further. But you just see eventually you start to notice that the fiction section seems to just keep going on and on and on. But as you all look to like the left, to the nonfiction section, you begin to notice that it begins almost looping. As you reach like the Z section of the nonfiction section, as it just repeats again and again and again. And Millie, you begin to realize that you smell something. It smells like essence. It smells like fur. It smells familiar. It smells like a wolf.
Strange.
You smell like it's almost in sync with you. Like you don't feel anything next to you yet, but you feel like something like this wolf-like presence is like matching your pace. As you feel like it's getting like as you're like matching pace, you feel like with every step you're getting well, like imagine you're walking like side by side with something, but every step forward you take, it inexplicably moves sideways to get closer to you as you're both walking forward. And as you take like more and more steps through the library, as you hear just the creaking of the wood beneath your feet, it gets closer and closer and closer as you start to feel like a pressure on like your like right hand, as you almost feel like where these two presences intersect, this is like where it would start. As you feel like it's starting to like basically like almost overlap with your own hand, the sensation.
Say, Jasmine, you wouldn't have to know what the hell's going on, would you?
Oh, Mike isn't here, so.
All right.
And actually, I can take advantage of this. As you speak out, as you notice that she's not here.
I look around. Did you all stay stock? Who is here?
You look towards where Jasmine is, as you keep Arthur in your periphery, and as you like turn you for a moment, nobody kind of like overtakes Millie's spot because he is a horse, so she kind of overtakes Millie in your field of view, and then when you look back to where Millie is, she's gone.
Millie?
Arthur looks around.
And Arthur, do you take your eyes off of Caroline?
He's just sort of... He's not really trying to keep his eyes on anybody. He's just looking around to like see if anything changes. So he's moving his vision around a lot.
Yeah. And then just for like the briefest of moments, you like look around and just as Caroline leaves your field of view, you look back, he's gone.
So is it just him and nobody now?
Yes.
But
As he
Nobody, but somebody's here.
As he sort of looks around as he just like leans down and pats nobody on the neck to like soothe him.
As nobody is also quite confused. And I guess, thanks to my narration, we'll start with this. As you hear the sound of stepping. Like, heavy steps.
I do.
Yes, you, Arthur, as we're in
He-
your...
He quickly, as he pulls out the sawed off.
As you pull out your sawed off, you are met with the sight of another sawed off that seems awfully familiar. As Arthur. You're looking at Arthur. But, Arthur, you notice that this version of you, you haven't seen this one in a while. In a long while. As, describe yourself. Your human self.
Arthur is a man, 6 foot. Pull it up again. 6 foot flat. Who looks to be in his mid-20s. With like dirty, like sort of blonde hair with like the color of sand, as it's sort of like a sort of shorter length hair. That seems to be like sort of slicked back, as if one day it would become much, much longer. He has paler skin that's sort of like tanned by the sun. He has freckles on his face, piercing blue eyes, and a bit of like scruff around his face, as he looks just like a rugged pioneer man with like a bandana around his neck that isn't pulled up over his face, and sort of like a button-down shirt.
And you notice that this version of you is also on top of a horse that resembles nobody, but it feels, well, it looks transparent almost, ghostly, as you see like whiffs of like ephemeral sand kind of a wisp around its body to form itself. As let me describe you as Arthur, human Arthur. Describe changeling Arthur to yourself.
Arthur is changeling Arthur sitting on this horse, man made out of sand, rough skin, wearing a red bandana over his nose and mouth with goggles, with long hair and a big mane behind him, as it's also made out of sand. His jaw is a lot wider, more squared off underneath the mask, wearing leather and sometimes metal armor, with a odd sawed off at his hip, riding a sand horse, just almost hunched over, sitting on the horse.
Now, immediately switching to this version of Arthur, you see this. Well, this seems like a very odd version of you. He looks like you, but he's clearly Fey looking. You're not really sure what happened. I mean, you were with the others in this weird library. You looked away from them for a moment, and suddenly you see you. As you both, well, if nothing else, if this is a copy of you, it's a very damn well good one. As you're both, your reflexes, you end up both pointing your sawed-offs at each other. As nobody, I'm just gonna go as the ghost buddy.
Somebody.
You know what? That's a good one. As somebody stares at nobody.
Somebody's here.
But I'm on nobody, and he's on somebody. But who's on first?
I really should have assigned nicknames. But
As he
yeah,
sort of like he has his changeling Arthur has his sawed off sitting like in his lap because he pulled it out and just sort of like cautiously as he just sort of looks at it and doesn't make any movements like they're in a fucking standoff.
because you guys seem to have like a very similar state of mind.
Just fucking standoff on the horse.
In case you're waiting on Noah, you will speak for both of them. So from human Arthur's perspective, you were with the others. Jasmine, Millie, Caroline. As you were just exploring this here manor, and you just see a fey version of yourself. You've already encountered like a lot of weird shit in this manor, but this is definitely something else.
As human Arthur sits there as he still has a grip on his sawed off, which is just a 2-barrel sawed off mundane one. As he sits there as he moves his jaw around a little bit. Well, I reckon that if this is some sort of copy, I reckon it's a good one. As then changeling Arthur, the mask, the bandana moves a little bit as he also adjusts his jaw a little bit as he's sort of like gritting his teeth, trying to take it in as he's, well, from my perspective, you're the copy. I reckon.
And as you two stare at each other, the library, you notice that the shelves kind of begin to almost shift a bit. As when you guys both see a clearing, you both notice that the wooden floor that you guys were walking on has been replaced with a nice sand or dusty, sandy path.
Sorry about that. I was talking to my mom.
Mm.
Helping her do dishes real quick.
Arthur, nobody found Arthur and somebody.
But who's somebody?
Somebody's right here.
Who's on first?
Yeah, sorry about that. As you guys feel quote, feel like these dirt paths wind back. As you both notice the sight of a little end table with a journal on it.
As looking at each other, changeling Arthur holsters his, and human Arthur also holsters his sawed off. As they both, with their eyes on each other, they step off their horses.
Mm-hmm.
As then human Arthur gestures to the table, as changeling Arthur also gestures to the table for human Arthur takes a couple steps forward and grabs the book.
And as you guys walk towards the book, you guys just both immediately notice it gets farther as you're just walking on foot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, as it starts getting further and further, the more guys try to walk forward.
As changeling Arthur, as he turns around and puts his back to it, as he sort of the goggles look over to the other Arthur.
Mhm.
I suggest that you might want to try what I'm doing. The other Arthur looks at him. Really now? As Changeling Arthur. I got a bit of an idea here. As Changeling Arthur, I mean not Human Arthur, like sort of puts his rests his hand on his sawed off as he also turns around, just sort of keeping him in his periphery. As Changeling Arthur walks backwards, as if he's trying to like walk in backwards into the the podium or whatever it's sitting on.
As you do that, Arthur, make me, for Human Arthur, make me a resolve plus composure test, and then that will act as a help action for Changeling Arthur.
Resolve plus composure.
Yeah. So basically, like, you're both rolling resolve plus composure, but Human Arthur's roll is going to be a help action for you.
Cool. Okay. One hit. 4 hits on Changeling Arthur.
All right.
So 5.
Yeah, as you two begin to like walk backwards, as you begin to like, at first you're a bit out of sync, but then you both start walking back and forth, one foot after the other, as you both match your tempo, as both somebody and nobody also begin to match tempo, as you slowly feel that pressure that was on you begin to split a bit, but it's not an unpleasant feeling. As you both begin to like sync up your movements, as when you both reach the podium, your hands both reach across and land on the journal. As when you look, Human Arthur is gone. As you are holding the journal. As we go briefly back to Human Arthur, as Changing Arthur is gone with somebody, and somebody is still with you. As you hold up the journal, and well, that's where we leave off for Human Arthur. And as for Changing Arthur, you come across the journal as the room seems to stabilize a little bit, as you are sitting with nobody, kind of like on a well, like you're kind of like at like a sort of like round table sort of thing with like a bunch of chairs, as it seems to be like a clearing, I guess is the best word I can come up with, as it seems to be a much more stable section of the library. As since here's a journal, as you do not have Caroline to narrate it.
He sort of has his finger tracing the words, like underneath the words. Seattle is a weird place. I've heard and seen so much, but recently I've noticed a it happens on the surface as well. It's most apparent in the library. Sometimes I see things. We all do in there sometimes. We see ourselves, but different. Sometimes I see a version of me that walks. Sometimes Angelo sees his sister. Sometimes Marco has different equipment. Hell, even sees different things. These alternate selves. I really want to look into it more.
As this journal feels very, very old. One of, if not one of the oldest ones you've seen. If you would have the parts, it would be I'm probably just gonna post all of them in numbered order, but as this feels like this would be the third journal, just chronologically.
Mm-hmm.
As we will cut away from Arthur. Let's see. Next up, let's go with Millie.
Why me?
As Millie,
Why did I do
You-
to deserve this?
as you notice that Jasmine's gone, and you kind of just like look like, huh, what? As you look around, and then almost immediately everyone else is gone. As you are left alone in this library.
Oh, everyone left me.
As Millie, you just do you move at all?
No.
As you feel like the feelings slowly, like, of pressure slowly, like, engulf you. As you immediately feel like that scent of wolf, that scent of dog, is right next to you, in fact, as it smells familiar, but it smells like it has a high concentration of Hightower.
I talk. I sniff out, sniff.
As you hear the sound of some right next to you just also sniffing. As you just turn to see, as you see a version of yourself in uniform. In a very nice uniform. In a uniform you know what the fuck this uniform is. You see yourself in a Sunshower uniform. As Millie, you were walking with everyone when you noticed when a similar situation happened. As you smelled something familiar, it smells like wolf. As you cautiously, thanks to your training, made sure to assess the situation. As you sniffed and turned and see. What would this describe yourself from the perspective of a very let's see
That's what I wish it was.
I got stun locked by that.
That's what I wish it fucking was.
Okay. Describe yourself from the perspective of a much more professional point of view. What would a professional person see regular Millie as?
Disheveled, ugly, terrible she failure.
As fortunately for you, Sunshower Millie, you just. Why does it smell like you? Why does it smell like you? So I also just now realized that the Millie scene is just this. But yeah, for you, Sunshower Millie, to get you up to speed, even though, as you would already know, you were just with the rest, as you were basically just like on a mission to help the changelings of the Seattle Hedge, as you notice like a sort of distress call, as you were sent by your dreamboat, Nathaniel. You've only managed to become one of his right hands next to Holly and Shiro, but you're close. You're basically with them every day, but of course you're much more formal. You can't let your true feelings be so obvious. as it were. But yeah, you've become separated from your group as you see this
Uh,
yeah.
you like smell like me. You smell like Nathaniel Ward. Yes, I do smell like Nathaniel Ward. That's because I become his right hand man. Really? How did you do it? How did you do it? Let's not talk about that.
As the room as the room starts to shift and writhe as the bookshelves seem to part. As you both notice the sight of a journal on the podium, as you guys also notice like the ground at your feet is pristine. The wood has been replaced with, well, Sunshower, Millie. You know this floor definitely feels like the Hightower Association's floor in the the underground section, in the quote unquote Batcave section, where the supernatural business is conducted. Millie, base Millie, I'm not sure you would. I don't think you've ever been to the Hightower. Have you been to the Hightower Association offices?
Not when I'm not allowed to be there, but I have.
Okay, so yeah, you both recognize. Yeah, you recognize this floor as the same thing.
I recognize this floor. Nathaniel's
Just
walked this floor before.
Fuck my life. Yeah, as you notice a podium up over yonder.
Let's not waste any time. I don't want to be around you any longer than I have to. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
We walk.
Mhm.
Millie gets as close to the Nathaniel's scent as possible.
As I assume the sun shower version of you back tries to like make some distance.
Yes.
And as you guys like approach, it seems to get like farther and farther as you guys are like as you guys are trying. It's like part of your attention is basically shifted to the other Millie. As it's like the infinite staircase in Mario.
There's something wrong with this staircase.
Yeah, it's like as you are basically just okay. Yeah, as like you guys keep trying to make progress, but you're both just. Suntower, do you pay? Which Millie pays? Which Millie pays attention?
I think neither Millie pays attention.
All right. Can you two? I guess both of you make me wits plus composure minus 2. As you're both your focus is split a little bit.
One and 0 sucks.
Would you like to assign who fails?
Millie fails and Millie succeeds.
All right, but And does base or sun shower succeed?
Base fail.
Base fails. As sun shower, you are more focused on that thing. As you notice, every time you guys every time you guys happen to walk in sync, as your footprint, as your footsteps are very like out of order and disjointed, but every time you guys manage to sync up properly and take one foot at the same time, the book gets a little bit closer.
I really don't want that.
Yeah, it's like you both walk in sync, it gets closer. The moment you guys walk like out of order, it splits back like a failed rhythm game segment.
Mm. We have to work together to get there. Looks at her. If you're me, how did I let myself get so disheveled? How are you gonna get any man's attention like that? I just, you're writing, so like, I'm here to show the animal and stuff. Ugh. Come on, quit fucking around.
Stop fucking around.
Lock in.
Lock in. As base Millie, do you lock in?
I lock in.
All right. Now, once again, resolve plus composure. As Sunshower, you're gonna have to help this thing a little bit. As yeah, the first one will act as a help action for the second one.
Two.
Mm-hmm. And now for base.
Two. We're evenly matched.
Oh my god, they're so in sync. Yeah. As you two, thanks to your werewolf senses, this is also considerably easier than most at syncing up speeds. As one foot over the next, you both climb stair after stair. As you feel that pressure once again start to split, as you go, seeing someone move further and further, and by the time you both reach for the journal and place your hands upon it, the other version of you is gone. As Sunshower, you are met with that same round table room with that cowboy you met. What was his name? Arthur. Yeah, that was his name. As Human Arthur, do you say anything to Sunshower, Millie?
Fancy seeing you here again. Did you see anything weird?
Yes, I saw something quite ugly.
Well, I didn't really see anything ugly. I just saw something strange.
Oh, you were in luck though.
I just saw, well, I guess just me made out of sand.
This is gonna be very weird to write on the report, Millie. As we snap back to our base, our base gang. As Millie, hey, you're here with Arthur, and you're holding the journal. As like Arthur, from your perspective, Millie just kind of like you just like blinked and she was like right beside like a bookshelf holding a journal.
I heard like, yeah, it's okay. I wouldn't want to talk to you either.
There's just nobody, just like just kind of like huffs.
I'm just
like,
a lot of stuff going on.
like Millie, you feel like you don't. I don't think you have like the animal speak. Do you have the animal speak gift?
No.
You can't tell, but you feel like the horse is looking at you with pity. Yeah. As do you open the journal, Millie?
Yeah.
As this one is a bit more further in time. Wait out for the class.
This journal gets more tempting now that she's gone. Sometimes I get desperate. The boys pretend they don't see it, but they know I'm thinking it. I think about finding a way of jumping ship to one of those parallel worlds. And what?
Is Arthur here?
Yeah, you're both here. You convene.
And grabbing their version of blank. But I know that's not what she would want. And even our own blank still needs me. It's just hard, you know. But worse still is when I look at the other selves. Sometimes I'm a vampire. Sometimes I'm not even present. And sometimes still I'm something different. I feel so foreign. Even now, no matter what I do to change, I know I wouldn't amount to anything. This face is still Alice. This body is still Alice. The distillations are all Alice. I'm everywhere. That's what it's supposed to be, but now it's all screwed up.
Is it bad that kind of sounded like you're writing for a second there?
I'm not justifying that with a response.
Am I a fraud? You guys say anything else to each other?
I'm just gonna wallow in my own self-pity.
You're in the fucking Krona corner.
There. I mean, I saw all my hopes and dreams and everything facing me. So, yeah, I guess I understand.
My other self called me ugly. I knew I was right.
Nah, you ain't ugly. Just maybe take a comb a little bit. I mean, at least you're not me. I ain't a looker, so. He shrugs and you hear the fucking sand moving.
Where the fuck is that horse?
He's right here.
Arthur.
The horse is here. Cut away from us quickly.
Yes. On that note, oh boy, this one. Caroline. Oh dear. Oh dear. As Caroline, as much like the others, little did you know, you feel that pressure start to envelop you, and you feel like you're not alone. Oh god, this is it. Caroline?
I'm here. Sorry, forgot to unmute.
Oh,
Caroline's here.
I was about to have more fun calling myself ugly.
As Caroline grips her broom tightly, she like snaps her fingers as her broom like appears in her hand as she starts looking around.
As you hear the sound of something moving, as it also seems to be like ruffling for something.
She turns, pointing her broom at whatever it is.
And like out from cover, you notice
As
as something. Well, first, something runs out of cover, pointing something at you. As now you may.
as coming from cover is a woman, same height as Caroline. Actually, probably taller. She'd probably be taller, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, taller and older looking than Caroline, with her hair much straighter and neater than the raggedy mess that Caroline's is. She's wearing dark robes and has what appears to be an elegant silver rapier at her side, along with a belt that seems to contain a tarot deck. As she also draws
It's
her
Taro! It's fucking Taro! I'm sorry.
tarot deck.
Yeah, I have to agree with Lemon on this one, but less violently.
That's loud. Freaking
As-
Dragonborn Millie.
As Caroline, the doll, narrows her eyes at the person. The human, her hair much straighter, her clothes much neater, yet much more swirling and closed off. As they both seem to stare at each other for a moment, before the doll opens fire with her broom as a barrage of shots heads towards the human. The human quickly draws her rapier. She swings upward as a wall of earth just juts out of the ground in between the two of them as the shots all land into it. She pokes her rapier into the wall as it extends outward, transforming into a hand, wrapping around the doll, who dissipates into a swarm of crows, flying closer towards the human. As she reforms, the two of them point their weapons at each other's throats as their eyes race over each other, both of their eyes glowing for a moment, before both their eyes narrow, and in unison they say, "Oh, that's just awful."
As to give the recap on Hugh as in quotation marks human Caroline. You were
She's
doing
human. She's human enough.
human enough, as you were basically just doing an assignment given to you by your higher ups, Sherlock and Watson, and you sort of kind of got a bit curious, as you often do. Looked a bit too deeply into the thorns. Some stuff happened. Head spinning situation later. You ended up with this weird group of a wolf. A sleeper for some reason. I don't know. You don't know. A sleeper riding a ghost for some reason. You don't know what that's all about. As you guys were traveling with each other, as you ended up in this library, as again, you being yourself, looked a little bit to see what was in this, well, I mean, it's you in the library. What else were you gonna do? As, of course, you ended up separated, as you see you. Would you have... I forgot what arcana you said you would have had.
Fate, time, matter.
Yeah, no, yeah, fate, so yes. As I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would immediately tell, yep.
As the wise woman narrows her eyes. You're not an illusion. Gee, what gave it away? And here I thought you would have been... As the wise woman rolls her eyes. Come on now. This is the Thorns. Surely you'd be wise enough not to get too comfortable in Arcadia. It's called the Hedge, you pompous fuck. Neither of them lower their weapons. An alternate timeline split, perhaps? The wise woman raises her eyebrow. The doll sighs. Sure. I guess we'll go with that. On 3. They both of them narrow their eyes at each other for a moment. 3. As they both sheathe their weapons. The doll glares at her. I really don't like looking at you. The wise woman, not quite as angry as the doll, just crosses her arms. Believe me, it's not anywhere near as pleasant for me either. How were you during when I should have been you? Oh, that explains why you're so... Just... Let's get out of this before either of us have to deal with each other a moment longer. Agreed. The wise woman nods. Okay. This place seems like a spatial anomaly. Temporal, too, of course, but I suppose that applies to everywhere in Arcadia. The hedge, whatever you want to call it. It's a library. A library for, well, I don't know if she's in your world, but someone named Mercy. Me and my companions have been trying to track her down. I see. Spent days researching this place. Well, I don't have days, so if you would kindly... What, you need me to get us out of this? I don't need you for anything. Whatever you say, Missy. Come on, at least let me find a way out as the doll looks around, her arms crossed. Say, the wise woman looks at her, her arms behind her back, and a slightly smug smile on her face. So, how does it work, anyway? I mean, you seem to know a lot, and that almost looked like Magesight. It was something like that. My boons are different than others. You wouldn't mind an interview? I would very much mind. Besides, isn't this against some law of yours or whatever? Don't fuck with timelines? I'm not fucking with timelines, I just stumbled into one. Well, I'm not answering your questions, so unless you have the Mind Arcanum to pry it out of me, it seems you're out of luck. And I assure you, I am much, much more adept at getting people to do what I want. Oh, because you happen to have a few fancy contracts, some pledges. Oh, I'm so scared. It's not like the Fate Shielding couldn't take care of that in a jiffy. Both of them huff and look away from each other. The wise woman looks around, mage sight on, while Caroline looks around, using her guest blessing.
Mm-hmm. As the library starts to shift and distort. Hold on. As I'm trying to get a good visual for what this starts to look like. As it starts to as books start to bend and shelves start to topple over themselves, as they start to float, as pages start to scatter everywhere, as it kind of starts to looking like this, as the shelves just kind of get a bit fucky. The floor is still very neat. It's just that the shelves and the books themselves seem to just kind of just stop following the laws of physics for a moment. But deep ahead, through a spiraling tunnel of shelves, you both see the sight of a journal at the end.
If I had to guess, the doll starts. That's probably our way out, the wise woman finishes. The doll looks over at the wise woman. You don't even know how to use that thing, do you? You don't seem like you're in too different a timeline. Just had a slightly altering pattern and one linchpin moment. I've been fond of melee weapons. There's a lot more ways to use a rapier, especially a silver reflective one, than just as a sword. Though I suppose you wouldn't know too much about Yantras. I'll have you know, the doll crosses her arms, I've gotten plenty of use of dramaturgy. The wise woman pauses. Hold on, what's that? Oh, I bet you're curious now, aren't you? Well, I'm sure you'd be happy to learn all about it. But some people have to keep their secrets, you know. Right. Well, at the very least, I'll have something to research once I get back. So, what do you think the gimmick is? As the wise woman looks over at it. The doll looks it up and down. Well, it's a psychoactive response from the hedge, so it's probably a destabilization of the timelines. If we just restabilize them for a moment, then it should go back to normal. That's what I was going to say, yes. I'm not saying I figured it out, just that I'm following your logic. Then come on, if you can follow my logic, you can follow my steps. As the two of them begin walking towards the diary.
Do you guys work together? I feel like I have to ask this with you specifically.
Shockingly well.
Oh my goodness. Alright, well. Well, resolve plus composure. As, you know, first one acts as a help action for the second.
So, you must have companions in your world too, right? Yeah. They're probably not doing as well. I'd actually say they're probably doing better. I don't think any of them have nearly as much self-hatred as we do. Well, that's probably true. Oh, actually, no. One of them probably does. Millie isn't the most stable. Really? What happened to your Millie? You know Millie? You know what? We probably shouldn't explain. I don't think cross-polluting the timelines is too good an idea. The doll narrows her eyes. Oh, now it's not a good idea when it's not serving you. Just shut up and keep walking. Besides, we have cheats, as she casts Exceptional Luck. As, may I roll for an Exceptional Luck?
Go right ahead, freeball it. You saw, you passed the right. Yeah, you did the result plus composure test, so go buck wild.
2 successes. I give the wise woman gives the doll +5 to her next roll. Technically +5 to her next 5 rolls, but she's gonna immediately end the spell after it's done. Exceptional success from the doll.
Yeah, well, you guys work together, so as you cast Exceptional Luck upon your doll self, you both start rapidly feeling something like split as you both approach the journal as the tunnel seems to unwind before.
Hey,
The
I
wise
just
one.
want to.
Yep.
I just want to look over at the doll. Your outfit is gaudy as hell. That's your parting words? No, just the lead up. But from what I've seen, not half bad. As far as rookie mages go, I'll choose to take it as a compliment. You're less annoying than I thought you'd be. Let's hope neither of us have to see each other again. Let's really hope. Do your best not to wind up like me. You seem to be lucky enough to have the good timeline. As then they both reach for the book.
As a wise one, the moment you make contact with it. Oh, hey, you're here, with Millie and Arthur.
Good news, everyone. Seems there's a timeline split here.
We noticed.
Yep. Honestly, my bad. I really should have taken the precautions. Once we find Jasmine, give me a bit and I'll give us all a shield of Kronos. Hopefully, this won't wind up happening again.
Millie's just on the floor hugging the horse.
as, as you just see Millie, you see the ghost horse, somebody just trying to comfort Millie. It seems she had it rough.
Jeez, your ultimate self that bad, huh?
Are we in the other version right now?
We're in the human Arthur timeline.
Okay, never. She's not. She's just petting the horse. She's not on the floor.
All right. Yeah,
Mine
okay,
mine was actually quite well, I got along with him, I guess.
Mine was like looking at a nightmare in a mirror.
Mine tried to kill me.
I wish she would.
Mine
did
just
that to
seems
me.
like he's got it pretty rough.
I wish
Honestly,
she tried that to me. Then she would have had any backbone whatsoever.
Yikes. That bad, huh?
It's gross.
This is absolutely a place to investigate later. I mean, I've never seen a supernal verge this clear. Say, as she looks over, the wise woman begins yapping about magic for the next until Jasmine shows up.
Arthur just starts tuning out
excited.
part of it.
She's excited and cheerful the whole time.
Wow, that's a fucking first.
All right. As we cut back to the base timeline, as Caroline made contact, you're here. I assume nobody is comforting Millie.
Now Millie's on the floor hugging the horse.
Howdy, Caroline.
I don't know why I didn't mention it at the time, but obviously this one's Millie and the other one's Emily.
True. Opportunity.
Rough for you, too.
I saw a human version of myself. Surprisingly, very nice to get along with. Just kind of sucked to see, something I'm shooting for in front of me.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Millie has it pretty bad, though. From what I've gathered from her muttering, she her other self knows this, air quotes, Nathaniel person, and called her disheveled and things.
Isn't that the boy you're so obsessed with?
I think so.
And it looks like she wrinkles up her nose. My other son was right. It was a timeline split.
Yeah, it was actually kind of comical for me. I mean, he's got a horse that's named Somebody. Ain't that something?
Was he also made of sand, or?
No, he was a human.
No, I mean the horse.
No, he was a ghost.
A sandy ghost.
I think he also had sand coming off of him, but I don't know. Oh, as he holds up the journal, there's a couple of words in here that I can't really understand, and I need you to look at them.
Yeah.
Are those words we don't understand? I thought they were just left blank.
No, it's
No,
Arthur
like-
illiterate.
Arthur is almost illiterate. he cannot read quite well.
It almost feels like no, there's not enough rhyme and reason. Each of the people we encountered, they had the things we wanted most. I wasn't taken. And it sounds like you weren't either, Arthur.
He shakes his head. Nope. From what I gather from Millie, though, it's not like the other version wasn't like his wife or nothing. So maybe it's not the total ideal. He shrugs.
Maybe even in infinite universes, they can't make a miracle come true.
Don't say that!
I want to feed off of that glamour. just gonna munch off of those emotions right there.
I'm a glamour farm.
Yeah, really, that is Caroline. That is Zetsubo.
Are you sure this bitch don't have integrity? Damn.
Zetsubo.
Zetsubo.
Despair.
Does this count as my favorite emotion, which is fear?
No, it's fear.
No, I was
Because no,
very
this is
afraid. I was very afraid.
all right. All right.
Fear that it could never truly happen.
Yeah, I'm thinking despair, but you know, if this is what you say she's feeling, yeah, it's fear.
All right. Are these strong law and order emotions?
Wrong. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I have spent a great deal of time with the subject feeling the emotion.
Yes.
Beautiful. What skill is this? Manipulation versus subterfuge? With subterfuge?
Yeah. You're just bullying her.
All right, so that's 4 base plus 2 from emotions plus 2 because I know the subject. Then I believe it's plus 1 because it's my favorite emotion. All right. Only one suck. Damn,
Sucks.
it'd be like that sometime. Millie, you do lose a willpower as I scrape a little off the top.
I don't have any willpower.
As I was, oh yeah, I was about to say. I was gonna save this for the end, but everyone who's acted so far gained 4 willpower because I feel like
I'm
because I like
missing
this.
one.
Does that count as fulfilling my my virtue? Not virtue. My needle of scholar.
Yes,
Can I put a glamour into my coin purse?
go ahead. Yeah,
Nice.
and of course, Jasmine, you will get this too once you are done with your scene.
A new debt begins.
Yeah, full willpower. As yeah, you have a journal. Yeah, Caroline.
All right, let's crack this open then. Why? Why do I feel this way every time I enter this library? Every time I pass by these doors, I feel the same questions gnawing their way into my skull, taking root inside my brain and festering more and more until I can't take it out anymore. What was taken away from me? There was something missing. I know there is. Could it be her? Or could it help her? Could it help everyone? Could it have stopped all this before it even started? I know I'm supposed to be working. I'm trying. I really am trying. But every time I dream, I see somebody else. Every time I stare at Mercy's face in the mirror, I can't but think of who else should have been standing there. The fate I was robbed of. And if that could have helped, if that version of me would be more capable than the one that's here, then it's maddening. I have the power of change at my fingertips, and yet even that can't restore what I've lost. And that's where it ends.
Yeah, as you notice that the handwriting in this one is frantic.
Hmm. Looks like she had just enough trouble with the library as we did. Maybe even more. Alright. She puts the journal down as she's trying to go over towards Arthur and explain some of the words to him.
Oh, so that's what that means.
Yeah.
And occasionally he's just like, I know what robbed and maddening means.
Why specifically maddening?
No, it's just because I was reading that. It's like I was reading to see if I could actually make this bit, which is like, hey, what does this word mean? Like, and I'm just like, yeah, he knows what maddening is. He knows what robbed is. Yeah, he knows pretty much. I think everything in this version.
Yeah, this is alternate. It means another.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. We're going to go for
I
a
know-
big one this time. Phenomenon. That one-
You see the blank stare of the fucking goggles behind you?
All right, we're going to spend a bit of time on this one.
I can speak things verbally. It's just
Yeah, I know. It's easy to understand when you get half of it. If you can speak it verbally, you can know how to say, you can learn how to read it verbally.
as or you can see almost as if like there's a little bit of a sweat drop coming down the sand.
It's just about matching pronunciation with the letters.
But what does a phenomenon mean?
Well, it I never realized just how complicated language is to have to explain it to someone.
And that's even before I care to ask if you can teach me how to write.
Technically, phenomenon just means something that is observed to exist. It's something that happens. A footfall is a phenomenon, but it's only really used when what is happening is unexplainable.
Oh, I mean, we usually just say that's just something that happens. We don't really understand.
Yeah,
That's just something that happens.
it's a short word for that sentiment. So, pretty much everything we do is a phenomenon to most people. Most normal people, I mean.
Huh. As he, I think I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you kindly, Caroline.
Oh, yeah. No problem.
I'll have to, maybe help you out with some at some point.
Really?
You know, you're helping me out with this, so. Sure.
Yeah, I suppose. I'll think of something. Repay that debt somehow.
Informally, of course. Unless, well, you want to make it a contract or something.
I don't feel the need to waste glamour on that.
You just seem like you just like making contracts. He scratches his head and fucking sand starts fucking fluttering down off under the ground.
Whether I do or not, here's another word. Gnawing. As she's keep explaining words to him.
I know what gnawing is.
Yeah, but can you spell it for me?
No.
That's why we're working on it.
Alrighty. Is Jasmine back? Alright, are you ready for yours, Jasmine?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Alright. Oh boy, this one. This one. Oh boy, okay. So, Jasmine,
Mm-hmm.
you're focused on the layout of this room as, yeah, it's a bit weird. Feels like it's constantly shifting and changing around you as you just kind of try to like focus on like where you are in the room so you can help navigate. But as you like focus so hard, you end up like staring down at the ground, and then when you look up, you're alone.
Hmm. Hello. Oh gosh. I wonder where everyone went. Am I in my mind palace again? Hee Kinda waves her arms dismissively.
And as you're just like, waving your dismissively, you hear like the sound of like muttering in the distance.
Hmm. Hello. She starts walking towards it.
And as you turn the corner, you know, here's the part that makes me most scared. Desmond, I will give you complete free reign to. What do you see?
Oh, I'm sure I see. I'm sure I see a couple of things.
Just pick whatever feels natural. I'm completely leaving. I'm completely leaving this up to you.
Oh, that's awkward. I was wondering if you were gonna be the one to do this.
No, yeah, exactly. It's like you reveal as much or as little as you wish. So like, hold on. Let me just give examples.
Um.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was thinking about.
Good.
As she walks over and sees Jasmine, they stare at each other. Tilt left, tilt head right, smile. Oh, hello. Hi. Well, now, isn't this just a hoot? Certainly. So you got lost too? Oh, yeah, totally. You know, just wandering around with the friends, yeah, the gang. And then we're all here, they say in sync. I wonder if everyone else is going through something similar. Probably.
As you two will know immediately what this is, what this little phenomenon is. As you, well, because of like where you live, you've never really encountered this before. You didn't even know this phenomenon even like happened in the hedge. You've heard through the grapevine that Seattle is a bit fucky, a bit glitchy, a little bit
Oh, I
broke.
know. Oh, I know.
Yeah, and and sometimes glitches occur. Sometimes you've heard of like an urban legend of a guy who no clipped through the ground, and you've heard like another like you could have sworn like whenever you spend like a little bit of time like in like regular modern Seattle, you could have sworn you've heard that someone ended up in fucking in a fucking cyberpunk dystopia somehow. As many dismiss it as hearsay, but as a woman of science, you know what this is.
Gazes around. So, like, we're on like a border right now, aren't we? We're in some dangerous territory. One wrong move and we could look left, look right, end up there. Oh, yeah. That'd be crazy. I've only heard about that place. It's like really messed up. No, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Do I need to install? Do I need to install a frequency tracker for this? I didn't have one originally, so I don't think. I mean, it'd be really hard to do, but also not hard. What do you think? I think we could do it if the two of us work together, because two minds are better than one. You're so right.
And as you guys are in basically perfect sync, the room starts to distort as the bookshelves seem to be a bit more like clockwork and bronze, as they resemble more machinations of Macog. As you notice, like on top of a on top of a on top of like a nightstand, up ahead is what looks like a scrap of paper.
They both pick it up. They both pick it up in sync, in like complete symmetry as they look it over.
Yeah, it's just do me just a little resolve plus composure twice, and the first one is a help action for the second.
Okay. What'd you say? For the second one?
Roll. Yeah, it's resolve plus composure twice. The first roll is going to be a help action for the second.
2 successes for the end.
Mm-hmm.
I had 3 dice for this.
All right. As you both like sync up and reach for as it appears to be a set of blueprints, you just out of the corner of your eyes both like look to the side and sync as you see Jasmine and Jasmine and Jasmine and Jasmine and Jasmine and Jasmine. Though at the very, very back, you notice a Jasmine that doesn't fit well. As that one seems to have more clean cut and a more clear appearance. As she looks at you briefly in she looks at you completely blankly, as for a moment you see her eyes light up, but she quickly dissipates among the rest of yous, as when you guys touch the blueprint. Oh, hey, you're back. You realize that, hey, we're in a weird like round table room with everyone else, as you're holding onto a blueprint.
Oh man! Oh, we could have gotten so much done. It would have been so easy too. So many genius minds in one room. I could have been able to track the splitters all around.
Well, hello there.
Oh, howdy. Hello, friends.
Howdy indeed. You meet any interesting folks?
Yeah, me.
How were they different? We're trying to put it all together.
Which version of us is this?
Yeah, we're just gonna cut straight to base timeline. Actually, no. I was gonna originally just go base, and I remember. No, wait. This is gonna be the last time I get to see the split timeline. This is the split timeline.
And so we don't really have a past and a future. There's only one
Caroline.
defined present. Huh?
Points.
Oh, welcome back, Jasmine. Good to see you.
Yes.
You
Even
encounter
better
a
to-
worse version of yourself too?
Nope, it's even better to see me. It was
Wow.
exactly the same. I guess for the purposes of this story, I don't have many other timeline variants. The splinters aren't very too creative there. Or maybe I'm just a kind of constant.
Yeah, certainly something. I'll give you that.
Besides, what else could they change? I mean, I'm always gonna be me.
It is hard to put a dent in that. I don't think much could change you.
Of course not.
Well, that's all of us accounted for. You would not believe what we saw. We had way worse versions of ourselves, especially Millie.
It was terrible.
Especially Amelia.
Oh, I'm sure she was endearing in some way. After all, I think you'd look adorable if you were just a little bit worse.
I'm
I got
going to
along
hit
pretty
you.
well with.
I'm going to hit you.
It's a compliment. You're always so good looking.
Of course, I'm always good looking. I need to stay in top condition.
I see.
I got along pretty well with my version.
I think you get along with everyone. It's almost kind of scary how affable you are.
Hmm.
Mine tried to kill me, which honestly, I'm not surprised.
I was disappointed though. I thought I could get some extra time with them.
I mean, I could probably try messing with the time streams again if you want to see if we can break back into that timeline.
Do not.
I mean, you could. It technically doesn't.
You guys wouldn't snitch on snitch on me, right?
I
Like the diamond
absolutely
doesn't
would.
need to know. You're such a buzzkill.
I don't really even know what that means.
We have work to do.
Okay, but to be fair, technically, if you use the method at which that I have thought about and hopefully intend to track a bit more, then things would be a little easier. I'm sure the diamond wouldn't mind if a certain unstable reality got a little bit more splintered.
If I'm not casting any magic, is it really a supernal crime?
I don't really know.
Neither do I. That's what those silver ladder nerds are for.
Wait, which one are you again?
Mr. God, proud Mysterium member. Well, proud as any Mysterium is. We're the weirdos who stay cooped up in our rooms and research magic all day. You know, more than the rest of us. I mean, I think fucking around with it. Who knows? Maybe we'll learn something important. She gives a smile to Amelia. It could be mission relevant.
Arthur just shrugs and goes back over to somebody.
Somebody who's just, he's very smart for a ghost horse. Very strong ghost horse too. Yeah. Is that all that this split timeline would like to say?
Yeah, they probably just banter more.
Yeah. And whether or not Caroline decides to fuck with time, well, it's not relevant to this story, so we cut the base timeline.
Crimes against the Let's Magic are her problem.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Does she fuck with time? What do you guys do? You know what? Go wild. This is not relevant to the story.
Aw, man. I almost got a chance. So many brilliant minds in one room. Ah.
The exact same fucking thing.
Trying to steal someone's place.
No. Why would I steal a place? After all, they were all the same me.
What? Hold. There's a lot that I said there. One, you mean there was no change? They weren't like a better timeline? Two, all? Did you encounter multiple?
Oh, there was a whole bunch of them, except one which is a little different. She wasn't talkative.
Well, that's pretty good. That means you got your head on right?
That means that I am consistent all across.
You got the same screw loose everywhere. Congratulations.
Hey, at least I'm consistent. It just goes to show and affirms that what I'm doing is exactly what I am doing. It's what I need to do. Basically, what I'm doing right.
Or every single one of you is doing it wrong the same way, which with you
Arthur
just
puts a hand on
likely.
her shoulder.
Okay. Did you get a journal?
He pats you on the shoulder. I know.
She holds out a blueprint.
As you guys all realize, it looks like blueprints for the head spinning vial. And you recognize that it's in the same handmanship as, well, basically everything that's been written so far. That you picked up, not accounting for the library, which is different.
Mercy made the head spinning file?
That really all circles around together. I got this from Charlie.
Where did he get it?
From some market, he said.
How did he
Or,
pick up the market?
where'd he get it from?
Let me see. Yeah. You remember that he, was given to it, from a merchant. He didn't really remember what they, looked like, though. They seem to be more... They seem to have their, appearance, hidden.
Yep, he got it from a merchant.
Hmm.
Although he didn't really notice their appearance, it is certainly a question why one of Mercy's little inventions ended up their way all the way over here.
That is certainly a lead to look into. If Mercy was either lost it or sold it on the market, that gives a paper trail to follow, should the worst come to worse.
Assuming that we don't find her right here.
Exactly. Hopefully we won't need it, but it's something to keep track of. She's selling her inventions to make a profit or something?
Perhaps she's giving up hope in her project. Maybe not a loss of obsession, but a loss of capability.
Maybe. Maybe she really needed some important materials and was selling some of her lesser inventions to get a hold of something big.
Well, she definitely made the wrong choice on this one. She had to have gotten something pretty good for this one.
That's the worry. Mercy seems obsessive, but not stupid. Either best case scenario is she lost it, or it was stolen. Because if she did trade it for something, she would have traded it for something big. And I doubt we would have found whatever it is yet. Actually, now that we have the blueprints, Jasmine, do you think we could study it, reverse engineer it, find out how it ticks? This could be a clue to understanding how the larger process works. I mean, her thinking process, how she got these machines to head spin.
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
Maybe even replicate the product.
I almost got a chance to make my big thing.
Well, you can mourn that later. We're not fucking with time. It's way too dangerous. Especially when we don't have any kind of protection against it. Really, we should get out of this room as quickly as possible.
You're certainly a lot more careful than I think you are in other places.
Maybe I just don't want to have to see that face again.
He pats you on the shoulder again.
I don't want to see me either.
If I had to guess, guys, I think all of you are my best ones.
Well, shucks, ain't that some pretty high praise?
I'm sorry that
Thank
I'm
you.
your best one.
Thank you, Jasmine.
That just means you're my favorite, Millie.
I'm sorry that I'm your favorite Lily.
She pats her on the head. All right, come on, you katana writer nerd werewolf fangirl.
Let's get moving.
As you guys definitely notice, but especially those who were sitting around, that this is definitely just a stable, like, middle room. As sure enough, the port, is right ahead. And as you guys also like look behind you, you see that hey, there's the exit again. As the library seems stable? Question mark.
So, Caroline, you got any ideas on why it's also like this?
Ideas? Sure. Answers? Not at all. I could give you 1,000,001 theories, but I couldn't give you evidence for a single one of them.
Well, what's the one that you think is the most likely?
Well, I think that the hedge is a place that's unstuck from time. And that's a proven fact, as she gestures to you, Arthur. People from
Right.
numerous different ages can come in and just arrive. Time is tricky. To be honest, I don't know much about how time works on a cosmic scale.
So
I
you're
know
saying because time works
Time is
so weird,
convoluted.
saying since time works so weird, and since I'm from, I guess, your past, different timelines could also be in that sort of thing.
I know. Time is linear.
Yeah, actually, that's actually true.
Why does that
Time
keep
is
being the
linear.
running joke?
Time is straight. Time doesn't change, as far as I knew. I hadn't encountered something like this before. I guess there's things that even I still have to learn.
Learning is always a constant.
Well, I'm certainly out of my depth, so he shrugs.
But
Sand falls off his shoulders.
to sum it up, my theory is as simple as it gets. I think the hedge, in its place being unstuck from time, does not adhere to the usual rules of the time stream. And freak events where a large amount of psychoactive presence condenses in one place could potentially cause a overlap where two concurrent time streams line up. That's about the extent of my theory.
He nods.
I
I
don't-
think I understand some of that.
I don't think it's an intentional thing. I don't think anyone's causing it. It's more like it's a product of the hedge itself, I think. If it was intentional, I think it would have been exploited more. Mercy would have potentially called on other mercies, gotten plans from other realities, or even just called in troops, things like that. But I think it's not controlled. It's something that just happens to anyone, us or Mercy alike. It's a place we shouldn't spend too much time in. We don't know if it could strand us there.
From what you've heard, though, it seems like I'm around the same in every time. Who knows if I'm technically the same Jasmine that you were fighting with before?
Don't. Wait. Hold on.
She looks at you smugly.
She breathes in, breathes out. No, you are the same Jasmine. I can still sense that we have the bargain.
I wish I was a different Millie.
Jasmine just looks at you smugly, Caroline. I made you go existential for a second there.
Shh. Shut up. And you, she points at Millie, if you were a different Millie, then you wouldn't really be that useful. I mean, the reason you're here is because of your drive for the wish. If you didn't have that drive, you wouldn't have no reason to come along with us.
He pats Caroline on the shoulder again. You're worrying a bit too much.
Hey, am I?
He puts up his fingers in his gloves that just like just a little bit.
I'm sorry if I'm stressing you out, Caroline.
She's just playing a joke on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
She pats you on the shoulder.
I'm, I apologize for being rowdy.
Now, I think it's only fair, Jasmine, that you apologize for making her so.
I don't need an apology. I need to get that out of my system. I don't want to hear that.
Now, she made
It's
you
okay.
worry, didn't she?
Either way, it's okay, Caroline. It's just the way you are. No need to get upset over how you are.
That's the way I am. All right, we've wasted enough time here. Caroline's gonna turn and move towards 4.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
As you guys approach a neat little door that seems unlocked.
Well, regenerator in first.
As Millie is in forward, as you guys open the door and march in almost like a swamp style formation, ready for whatever is inside this room. As the same song is playing, just pretend it's the same song. I don't want to fuck up. I mean, it's like as you are met with a very large master bedroom. It's you see like a large, like a queen size bed with a old guitar lying on there, as if it was never been moved from that. Well, it has been moved in that spot for years. Along like the walls, you see various like tables and desks filled with like a bunch of like half-finished works. You notice like the closet seems to have been left open a while ago, as you see a gramophone that's playing the guitar song.
It's a. You said it was a record player.
Gramophone.
Yeah, gramophone. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And a guitar?
yeah, like a
With
the
the
steel
guitar playing from the gramophone.
Oh, so there's no actual guitar sitting there.
There's both. There's like the
Okay.
thing playing music, and then there's a guitar on the bed. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. It also just seems to be a little map of Seattle to a wall.
Arthur goes over and sort of picks up the guitar.
It's definitely a very old make. In fact, hold on. Let me see something. What year were you from, by the way?
He's from the year fucking 1870.
You recognize this kind of like make and model before. You've definitely seen like various like groups. You know, whenever they have one of those musical folk, there's a very popular type of a there's a very popular, I guess, brands, quote unquote, for lack of a better word.
I think I used to own one, something like this. As he turns it around, as he ding.
Despite its age, it still plays nice.
Although I think I've forgotten how to play. I think that part of me's gone. As whenever he strums a chord, like a part of his like finger like comes off at the sand as it sort of reforms the sand.
Caroline opens her mouth, but then closes it again. Not able to say anything.
Maybe it's always an opportunity to learn. Like, ding, again. Anybody else know how to play?
A little. Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm great at it, but I'm familiar.
He spins the guitar around and hands it out to you.
What? To play along to the music?
He nods. I think that might be the way to, I don't know. It seems like all these rooms have some sort of quirk in them.
Right. May as well try. Caroline wants to sit down and try and play.
And as you strum the guitar, even if you're out of practice, it seems to almost like tune itself with you. As a matter how you guys like try to like strum it, it seems to always be rightly tuned.
Caroline wants to give it a little peeky.
Mm-hmm.
9 successes.
Oh my god, it really isn't that crazy. But yeah,
I gotta prove I'm the better one.
this guitar is clearly hedge spun, but very well made. Or like it's basically like enhanced. It's more like an enhanced guitar. Like the model is very old, but
Like a
Seems
hedge
to-
spun item.
yeah, basically it's a guitar that has been made to be in perfect condition to be played, no matter what.
It's a token, right? Hedge spun
It's-
item.
Yeah, hedge spun item would classify as a token.
Yeah. Like Caroline. Fun fact: Caroline's broom is a hedge spun item.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love tokens.
It's a token. Hedge spun item. It's one of the simplest types of tokens, but it like perfecting an item.
Is that right?
Yeah, it seems to have no other purpose than to just be a very well-made guitar.
She strums it again. It's a perfectly made guitar.
What the fuck is the
Almost.
drawback then?
Tunes itself to you. Actually, hedge spun items have no drawback.
Wow.
Yeah. Their drawback is that they're like kind of just meh. The drawback is that they aren't that crazy, which is really funny. I think they also have a drawback in that they have like there's some sort of like, oh, people kind of want them, but
Yeah, but overall, like, because hedge fund items are simple and usually of like low rank, it's not really that crazy.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's just that they attract attention because they're always notable.
Yeah,
But they have no catch or like real drawback because they're
yeah. It's just very easy to say like, hey, that's a token. Also, I guess masquerade implications, but
Mhm. It's, just made to be a good guitar. Nothing more.
If it's all right, I'd like to hang on to it.
Sure.
If
Knock
it lets-
yourself out.
You can use it as much as you like.
Thanks.
You said you play. At least can know. As he strums a couple of chords that he doesn't seem to be able to anything coherent. He seems to be able to pluck the chords well.
Purely for business. I had to learn. To understand dramaturgy, you have to understand drama. I had to learn a couple theater arts in order to properly use it.
I see.
Stage reading, musical playing, even moved of dancing. Sort of have to know it if you want to actually. She gestures towards her big bag, use contracts in the way I do.
He nods. I just, I would certainly like to remember how to play this. As he taps the side of the guitar with his fingers.
Well, you've got the time for it. I'm sure you have time to learn.
He nods.
Guitar.
Kneel down. She wants to take a peek at the gramophone itself as well.
Yeah, the gramophone
3
is.
successes.
Yeah, this gramophone is pretty much almost like a similar, basically like the exact same as the one on the first floor, except it's playing a guitar-only version of the song that was playing. And though you notice that this one's definitely older. It seems like this one has been playing for a bit long. Even though it's been on and off, on and off, on and off, it's been consistently used more often. And as you notice, from the guitar, familiar fingerprints and strums, and wear on it, you can definitely tell that this guitar is the same one that plays in both songs.
This guitar is the one that was used to record the songs we've been hearing throughout the manor. Yes, Percy's a fan of music.
I suppose so.
So, Jasmine, any insights about this room?
Hmm?
Oh yeah, hold on.
Fuck was that?
I have no idea. But if it was supposed to be a fucking pin on a grenade, I would not be.
Oh god, we're gonna blow up! Billy jumps on it! Billy jumps on it!
Grenade! Oh shit! Arthur jumps on it. A fucking burst of sand, and Arthur is gone.
Yeah, you should definitely have Millie jump on the grenade. Werewolves downgrade aggravated damage from mundane sources.
True.
This. She's looking around. One of the older rooms in this building, if not the. When this place was built. Go on.
just while you guys are doing this, I'm going to put the journals in chronological order for ease of reference later.
When this place was built, this room was the first and only one to have not changed a bit.
Starting from the 3rd floor and working down, huh?
No. It's more so to say that this room hasn't had any changes since it was made. Not necessarily that it was made first.
I mean, in the hedge, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
True.
I wonder if it's an emotional attachment.
This room is also a bit of a dead zone. Not a single thing here to watch us.
She is remarkably spotty with her cameras. I wonder why.
And Jasmine, for you, it feels like no one has been in this room for a very, very long time.
That
Maybe she doesn't really want to go through the library. Can't say I'd blame her.
probably.
Well, I suppose that's everything then. I think.
Yeah, there's still a map of Seattle on the wall, as well
Right.
as various half-written scribblings on the desks.
We'll take a look at the map of Seattle.
Mhm. Can anyone who looks at the map roll me a quick... Actually, yeah, no. Intelligence plus academics. Yeah, don't worry, Arthur. You wouldn't be able to know.
Okay, I'll roll it.
Can I convince you to be
Who's up?
a wits plus survival, perhaps?
No.
Alright.
I'll have to step into that one. What the fuck are you trying to pull?
When you hear you hear something so DM phobic.
Cody, you get wit plus streetwise. Take it or leave it.
fucking survival. Oh man, the big city. It's like a concrete jungle out here.
I would it would fucking work in other circumstances.
That's some real contract loophole shenanigans right there.
Hey man, he's thinking like a changeling.
Truly. You know what? My bad, boss. You got it. 2 successes for me as well.
This map is old and very, very out of date. As in
Oops.
this map predates the Great Seattle Fire of 1889. Is a very out of date map of Seattle. And you see various circles and like little notes as you both realize the handwriting is nothing like the ones you've seen so far. Not even close. And there's just little bits of things little question marks here, exclamation marks, don't go here, and you just see a building highlighted like vampires, like little notes and stuff like that.
What's the verdict?
Hmm?
The map. What's the verdict on it?
I mean, it's an old map.
I don't know what any of it means.
Hmm.
She shrugs. Maybe Mercy's from 1889.
I mean, maybe, but this room hasn't been brought in for a long time, right? Maybe it just wasn't touched for whoever owned the manor beforehand?
But still, that would mean that whoever this manor was for had to have, at the very least, had something important to either leave behind or look for in Seattle 1889. Well, before then, at least.
I suppose so. We should take the map with us, just in case.
Sounds like a plan.
He's looking. He like Arthur's like scratching his chin underneath his bandana and looking at it like with his goggles. So you're telling me this is what the future looks like?
Technically for you.
This is what you guys live in? I
No.
would have thought you would have gotten out of the sailing thing.
No, it's very different.
This is a couple hundred, actually, years before our time.
Oh,
Technically, it's nothing like this. But I wouldn't really know. I wouldn't know too much about a whole lot of what modern Seattle's like. She puts the quotes when she says modern.
My last experience with Seattle was 2015, so I'm more modern, but not as modern as Millie.
He scratches his head.
There's a lot more cars nowadays.
What?
The fuck is the car?
I'll explain cars later. Just,
Car? Duh? Like,
no, it's like a horseless carriage.
what?
Yeah.
After everything, that's the thing that's so surprising?
I was I kind of. He judges a thumb to nobody, and he points to Caroline. You don't know why he points to Caroline. I mean, horses are like my thing.
Mm-hmm. From what I understand, people only ever use them for horse races, recreation, entertainment, and sheriffs sometimes ride around in them.
Well, I'm glad to hear that hasn't changed.
If it makes you feel better, cars are measured in how much horsepower they have.
How do they get all that horsepower in there?
I've heard they can
Our
get as
horses?
high as 400 horsepower. That is.
Power of 400 horses in there?
What about a really strong horse? What about it?
Yeah, right. I mean, like, how much horsepower would nobody have? I think he's at least worth like 200 horses.
I have heard that apparently horses can have more than 1 horsepower, so that's not too far off.
Wait. If horsepower isn't equate to 1 horse, then why call it horsepower?
It's a unit of measurement. Not all our feet are 1 foot long.
Technically meters.
I'm going to read these notes.
Alright, just 1 second, I'm typing them.
You're gonna get one hell of a culture shock if you ever come out into modern day.
Yeah, right.
I might die. You know, so maybe maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't do that.
Alright. As you see a bunch of like half-written notes and like scribblings, and again you recognize that this is not the same handwriting, and definitely not nearly as verbose. Very just like quick little like jots down here, little right down here. As you see, like you make it like just like a handful of ones, like a handful of like notes from the ones that haven't been like decayed over the years, and have been bits of just miscellaneous ones.
Made a friend today, I think. Saved the girl from the hedge beast. Seems her body got jacked. I'll try to help out as best I can, though there's nothing I can do about her legs. Caroline taps that. She frowns. No, not Mercy. That was Alice. Alice is the one who broke her legs, and then she swapped bodies with Mercy.
So
Captain.
and Mercy's the one without the legs then.
Yeah. Now it's Mercy in Alice's body who's missing the legs. Well, probably still has legs, they just, didn't work. Met a vampire. Mopey. Doesn't really like his own kind. That's great. But she'd smile more, though. Ghostly boy. I forgot what they're called, though. I'm sure it'll come to me soon. All the way from Sicily, though. Those are more of the people in the notes. Timeline here is still messy. Changelings live very long lives, so if this was Alice, the other ones are a ghost and a vampire. Both of them are immortal. We don't know if Mercy came into this already. Don't know how long ago this was. For all we know, this could be before 1889, and then Mercy seems like a normal human. No. Couldn't be, though. The journal, she taps the question mark. Mopey. That's the same word that was used to describe the vampire. The kindred that Mercy found. What was his name? Marco? Yeah, Marco. So, if in between these two notes, Alice and Mercy swapped bodies, Alice disappeared, Mercy and whoever wrote these notes met Marco. Either Mercy is from before 1889, or they just needed a map of 1889 for some reason.
Is there any reason to worry about it?
Well, if I know. Whoever they are, they're someone who's important to Macog. I mean, they're seemingly part of this big force, and the person who recruited everyone else around here. Alice, Mercy, Marco, what was the last kid's name? Sonny? Something like that.
Oh, did you get Angelo?
It was an Angelo?
I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
I think
Was
it
there an Angelo?
Yes.
Yeah, there was. Caroline just doesn't remember him.
Yeah. That's why I wasn't saying anything because I figured it was in universe.
Yeah. Well, whoever they are, they're part of Ricard's forces, presumably. Well, raises more questions than answers.
I think for the time being, we can just let the questions kind of hang in the air. We have so many from just entering this matter alone.
And once we get our hands on Mercy, we'll unravel all of them. Seems like this is a dead end. Is that correct? She would say, Brett Jasmine.
Seems like it.
That's when we came then. And hope we don't get caught in another library shift.
As you guys exit this master bedroom, as you could just quickly shuffle through the library before it fucking shifts. As you guys are just walking through the hallways, I'm, only one real path to go left.
Yep.
Here we go.
Yeah, as you're walking down, and up, you see an ajar door. This one is definitely open. As for, hold on, let me just get some. There you go. As you slowly, as I imagine you guys begin.
Yeah.
As sure enough, it's one bedroom. This one is, Millie, you would know this. This one is very, very well kept. Very, very pristine too. Like barely like a speck of dust. It seems like this one is used frequently. As similar to the master one, there seems to be like a desk, but it seems like there's there's papers, but nothing really written on them. This one seems to be a lot more modest and sterile almost. There's a little door to the side.
There's no.
Caroline will ransack the bedroom.
Yeah, you like turn this one over. There's very well kept tools. A few wrenches, screwdrivers, some surgical. Actually, not really surgical tools, but a lot of gloves. You open up like the closet. There's like a bunch of like lab coats, kind of like an Albert Einstein situation where like they're all like the same outfit. You see stuff so like a glasses case. You see like a hairbrush and a vanity, and I forgot. I forgot to write something down. I know there was something else. Oh yeah, you turn over. You like look under the bed. See a box. You open up the box. There's fucking ammunition in it.
Lot of guns, it seems.
Yeah, I use guns.
Inspect the ammo.
It's this ammo is homemade. And it seemed to be for of a lighter caliber weapon. More like a sidearm, or like, a pistol, as it were. But very easy to make and very quick to make.
Nothing special here.
Anything else to look at in here?
Yeah, besides the little door to the side off, not really. Go ahead and play for this one. I know, alright. Come on. Maybe put in one word. God damn it. Okay, hold on, I'm searching for a fucking theme. Come on. Fucking. Alright, fine. Just give me anything. Give me anything. Yeah, this works. As I assume you guys then walking to.
Mm-hmm.
Is it blank? There we go. As you are met with, this room definitely seems. Well, first of all, this definitely seems. It's one of the cleaner rooms. Right, yeah. One of the cleaner rooms, definitely well kept. There's a few scorch marks along the ends that it seems to have been like there has been attempts to clean, but they seem to just keep popping up. But it almost seems like a child's room. There's a few like miscellaneous toys scattered about. There's a few books scattered about. And everything seems to be just of a nice like pastel color scheme.
Anything in here?
Well, it is one of the younger rooms.
The kid was mentioned. Maybe it's them. I don't know if they have anything special though.
Would one of you just like to roll perception real quick?
Sure.
Yeah. 2 sucks.
One suck.
Alright. Arthur, as you just like casually like pick up like a toy. For everyone else is a toy car. Arthur, you don't really know what the fuck this is. As you kind of just like casually like pick it up as you realize it's rather heavy.
It's
solid.
It's a toy hunk of metal.
Yeah,
Toy
like wheels.
contraption.
Yeah, as you kind of like knock on it.
The kids love contraptions.
Yeah, it's very solid. And Caroline, you would notice as you just kind of like casually feel around the room. This entire room is heavily reinforced. Like you feel like if say like any of like the things you fought here were in this room trying to tear it up, they wouldn't be able to make much of a dent if anything in here.
Someone really wanted this room tough.
Wanted it to last, I suppose.
Or they were afraid it was going to take some harsh punishment.
He
Perhaps
shrugs.
they wanted to because they would go crazy. Maybe it's like a vampire frenzy room. Stops you from destroying stuff whenever you're in a real bad way.
That might not be too bad of an idea, although I don't really know how vampires work.
In the journals, it sounded like this Sunny kid was somewhat good at fighting. At least had a lot of strength. They were probably worried he'd tear something up. Maybe it's almost more like a jail cell in some ways. Making sure he doesn't get out.
That might just be what this place is. Just a pretty little prison cell.
And don't get all philosophical on me yet. We've narrowed down what most of these guys are. Marco a kindred, Alice a changeling, Mercy she closes her eyes, alchemist, I'm pretty sure the term is. Angelo, to be honest, I kind of forgot he was a thing and all. No idea what he is. This Sunny kid is strong, but other than that, not much. I doubt Aratha. Those guys have pretty long puberties. You wouldn't have actually become an adult Aratha yet, right?
I would know, I think.
You would, in fact, no. No. Very fucking rarely, like, do kids become, like, wolves, but usually it's like, around puberty, though. This is definitely a room for much younger.
I could believe it.
Kindred makes me doubt too. If he was a kid, I mean, I don't know. They spent a while here, and the kid, I don't know. I feel like not aging would get to the kid faster. I don't know what it could be. I guess we'll pry our answers out soon enough.
As no one else has any comments. Only one room remains.
Alright. Either she's in here or she's fled the manor. You guys ready?
Yep.
Alright.
Remember. Just so it's Jasmine. There are cameras in here.
Yep.
Then just remember what I said earlier.
Mm-hmm. By the way,
Uh-huh.
looks over to the camera and kind of leans in to Caroline and everyone else. There's an alarm in the upcoming room, I mean.
Any way to get past it?
She shrugs.
Well, Salty's never been any of our strong suits, so...
Open the door.
There's also a... Oh. You open the door.
As I was about to say, for 5, you feel an intimidating presence. And by that I mean you feel a fog wall.
Caroline
I
will
don't do the fog wall.
activate. Caroline wants to quickly activate the connection.
Oh
The
shit, wait.
dramaturgy.
Oh shit, no, I went through the fog wall. No! Fuck! I can't influence!
You gotta buff up. You
I
gotta buff
forgot
up
to
before we
buff
spawn her
up!
through
I'm
the
running
fog
through the
wall.
fog wall! Let me back out!
Forgot
Well,
to. Loco Aratha forgot to apply the resin.
As we're walking in, Jasmine just goes, "Oh, I almost forgot to mention. There's and then like the door opens.
as you immediately feel it, Jasmine's like, "Oh yeah, the distress beacon." As you guys walk in, as you are met with the sight of a very large lab with various sorts of half-finished machines on one end with different like drills and like blow torches and tools. On another, there's a surgical table with pristine surgical tools. Yeah, it looks like it's seen many surgeries and trials. And towards another end of the room is bottles upon bottles of different sorts of liquids and chemicals bubbling. But there's a second level with just up some stairs. As you see a large set of screens. Arthur, it's particularly blinding. You're not really used to these kinds of lights. But to everyone else, these are camera feeds. And standing, or rather, sitting, looking at the top of this staircase, is a set of burning orange eyes. As you see a woman with long white silver hair that's sort of been tied into a ponytail. She has a black turtleneck sweater and black pants and shoes. She dons a lab coat. She has burning orange eyes, and she wears like a round set of spectacles. As you can see, like large bags under her eyes. As she sits atop a pretty big wheelchair, or perhaps a wheel is an inappropriate term, as instead of wheels, there seems to be long tendril-like appendages like that of a spider that are supporting its waist. It seems that it seems like you finally made it.
I don't suppose we can convince you to just stand down. Would make it a lot easier on everyone involved.
No. I'm afraid not. As Shirai's gonna like look over, who's holding the guitar?
This is Arthur.
Yeah, he had it on nobody's saddlebags, I believe.
Yeah. She just eyes the guitar as she looks at it like Arthur as she squints. And I want to ask, who is holding the head spinning vial?
Of course I am. It's in my auto injector.
Her eyes kind of like scan over you guys as she lands upon the vial. As her face just like twists a little bit as she seems to be like barely like restraining her face. So it seems you've encountered a thief.
Oh. Yes, the answer was thievery. We
Well,
were
I
betting
mean-
on whether or not it was thievery or if you sold it.
Like I would sell something as useful as that. Real? Especially when you can't really heal. I can't really heal as well as some of my friends.
Well, that eases a lot of my worries. I was worried you traded it for something real important.
I'd have to jump through a lot of hoops to trade.
Well, we really just want you to come with us.
And I'm afraid I can't do that.
So you're gonna put up a big old stink, I imagine, and we're gonna have to duke it all out.
Predictably. Though, you obviously knew that I saw you coming.
Won't give it away. Us chatting with you over the cameras.
Yeah. Well, you have a limited time before help arrives.